Yo, what is up, my Nakama? So for those of you that are looking to apply to medical school this year, or are just looking to apply in general, I'm going to give you what I think is the best piece of advice that I can give based off of my own experience. Cue new intro. So I can sit here and talk about how your GPA, your MCAT, your extracurriculars, how all of those are important, but you probably already know that. You know, you need a high GPA, you need a good MCAT score. All of those variables are something that you probably already know about, and there's probably already a ton of videos covering them. What I've come to realize though is that there's so many applicants each year, 5,000 to 6,000 people applying to each medical school, that most likely everyone has really similar GPA or MCAT scores. Everyone has high GPAs, everyone has high MCAT scores, so it's becoming harder to differentiate applicants based just off of what is written on their paper and their scores. This leads me to the best piece of advice that I can give based off of my own experience. So I wouldn't necessarily say I had the highest GPA or the best MCAT score during this medical school application cycle. Even when talking with some of my friends, I realized that they, got higher MCAT scores than me, and even, had a higher GPA than me when applying to medical schools this year. But that didn't dissuade me from applying, because I had a sort of story and a vision for why I wanted to become a physician, why I want to be a physician in the first place. And I sort of put that story on paper. I made it clear in my Common App essay and my secondaries why I wanted to become a physician and why I was so devoted to the medical field. And I think, at some point, the admissions committees, they have to look past your GPA and your MCAT. They need to see who you are as a person. If you just have very high GPA and a very high MCAT score, but it doesn't come clear through your essays and your secondaries of why you want to become a physician, then the admissions committee might gloss over you. Or at least if they're comparing you with another applicant who, shows true devotion to pursuing a field in medicine, then they might choose that applicant over the person with the higher GPA or MCAT scores. So basically, to summarize my advice for you is that you want to have a sort of story. And, it doesn't have to be the most interesting or the most inspiring story of becoming a physician, but it needs to be true to yourself. And if you're true to yourself when writing your Common App essays and secondaries, then that'll come clear through the admissions committee, especially if they choose to interview you and you sort of highlight what you've described in your Common App essay through your interviews. So basically, that's the advice that I can give. And I don't want to dissuade anyone from applying to medical school because, if I can do it, you can do it too. And as always, Dattebayo.